know is Petey the Trailbird, as seen in such films as the 500 subscriber video and the 15,000 subscriber Q&A. So he might just start flying around pooping and stuff, but you know, I might do that too, so we'll see. Okay, now I know you guys want to see what is in this box right here. It's a very big day. It only comes around a couple times in a man's life. Everybody still good? Perfect. All right, good. So yeah, if the live stream goes down, just let me know. My internet's not that great right now, so I just want to make sure everything's good, so I can see all you guys' comments there. So yeah, keep it coming. Okay, now this box here, as you can see, it's not actually that big of a box. So it is not a complete bike. It is a frame. So I'm going to be doing a build on it. I'm probably going to cut it into a couple of different videos. I saw Alex Chamberlain kind of go through his thing in that sort of same way, and I thought that was a good idea, and also it just works out better because I don't have all the parts right now. So I'm going to start with the frame, and then we're going to add some wheels, we're going to add some other stuff like brakes and fork and all that kind of fun stuff. So it'll be a bit of a journey over the next couple of weeks. Speaking of the next couple of weeks, I'm headed off to Phoenix on Sunday. I'm going to go ride there. Is anybody from Phoenix at all? If you're from Phoenix, let me know in the chat there. And maybe we can get together and ride. It's going to be like a crazy packed few days. We're going to go to Sedona. One of the subscribers, Eric, I'm going to be staying with him. Seems like a super rad dude. It's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to bring this bike with me because I'm not going to have all the parts in time to fly on Sunday. But I got a pretty super rad bike to be riding down there too. Hey buddy, that was super loud. Okay, so let's just dive right in. I don't wanna drag this on too much. So I'm gonna grab the scissors and go for it here. You know, honestly, I was pretty nervous about this whole live stream thing. First one, oh, you're gonna have your legs cut off, bird. First one, and like, I mean, you guys have seen my videos. I'm always doing a ton of editing, you know, when it comes to that, I can kind of let the editing cover up my lack of like wit and intelligence, but I don't have that in it right now, so we'll see how this goes. Whoa, there he goes. Bye. Okay. Oh boy, that's exciting. Petey, that's loud. I might have to set the bird free first. Hold on. I'm going to set the bird free because he's being super loud. One sec. Before I get into the bike, take out all this. Probably super loud for you guys. There we go. One sec. Come on, bird. Be free. All right. Back. There we go. Sorry about that. Oh, the box is open. You know, every single time that I have a really big, you know, anything come in the mail and I'm super excited about it, I always have the Jurassic Park theme song going in my head, like when they're flying through the valley in the helicopter, and it's like dun 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 dun. That's in my head right now. So hopefully it's in your head too, because this is pretty cool. Okay, what do we got? Any guesses? I saw a bunch of guesses on Instagram, and one person got it right. There was a whole pile of comments, but only one guessed the bike. So let's see. I'll start with. Oh, there's a little bag of the random parts that have to go into the bike itself. Axle, there's a headset, all the little end plugs and stuff. Sweet. Okay. Ooh. That's awesome. There's a set of Huck Norris's in there too. The guys at the company who this bike is from, they said they were going to send me a little something extra. So that's pretty sweet. Oh, I see, what's this? I see a super chat up there. I better check it out. Remember, this is the first time I've ever done this. Ah, there you go. That's Eric from Phoenix. He says, if you knew it was best for you, you'd bring that bad boy this weekend. But I can't, like, unless I just ride a frame, and that would be kind of painful and like harder on my legs because I'd have to just run the whole time. Thanks for that, man. If anybody else wants to do a super chat, More than welcome to. It helps me on my way getting down to Phoenix and riding bikes and stuff. Okay, packaging. Any guesses? Polygon Square 1. That sounds like an interesting bike. I'd love to try that. Trump. No, I will not be riding Trump anytime soon. That would be inappropriate. Maybe not for some people. Something evil. Ooh, getting closer there. Scott? No, not quite. All right. So let's see. I'll just bring it up to here. So even just with the color, can anybody guess what it is? It's a pretty specific color. There's a couple brands that have, you know, sort of a similar blue, but not quite the same. All right, let's check it out. Ta-da! Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, what is that man holding and why is it not a bike? Well, it actually is a bike, but it's kind of folded up right now. Does anyone know what it is now? I'm gonna wait until somebody gets this right. What is it? Can you guys see this? Ah, someone got it. It's from a company called Pole. They're actually out of Finland. And this is a Pole Evo Link 140, which is a 29er bike. And it is also, as far as I know at this time, the world's longest bicycle for wheelbase. So it's really sweet. It's got, hey, let me take it out of here and it'll be loud for a second and we'll talk about it. Oh man, that's awesome. Look at that. All right. Woo. I love that paint job. That blue is so nice. Oh, geez. So check this out. So this swing arm, it's folded back onto the bike. And the reason why I can do that, because all you have to do is you have to basically unbolt this one bolt that kind of connects to the shock. I'm going to go through that in a little bit. But after you do that, the entire rear swing arm folds up just like this, and it becomes basically the shortest framed bike out there. Whereas when you unfold it, it is the longest bike out there. So I heard from other people that you can actually just buy oversized luggage, like just like standard, like regular person luggage, like not a bike bag, and be able to fit this in with the wheels and everything, and then not be charged the bike bag fee for the specific bike bags, like the Evo bags and stuff. So I don't know if that's true or not, but like looking at this, how it is right now, that seems pretty possible to me. So let's get this set up and take the foam off of it. Move that over that way. And I grabbed, oh, right, cables. Right there. I grabbed the seat post from my giant rain, just so I can toss it in here. Well, now this is gonna get good and awkward. Let's see, so that I can throw it in the bike stand. So they should be the same size. Yeah, sweet. Tighten that up. Nope, not quite. There we go. That'll do. All right. Let's put that. Bear with me. This is a super old, like classic park tool stand. Okay. Yeah, that works good. Okay. So yeah, so this bike, where's that stool? So this bike, it is again, a 29er platform. I've never owned a 29er before, and I've tried them before, and I really like the rollover. And I heard this bike is just an absolute blast. Anybody that rides this bike, they say they take it out on their local trails, and then they set PRs on basically every single trail that they ride. It just makes you go faster without realizing you're going faster. And I would say that's like the most you could ever ask from a bike. And also with the huge wheelbase, it also kind of keeps you safer. Like lots of people are saying they don't have the feeling of going over the bars quite as easily with this bike. Nice. And especially for someone like me, who is pretty much always riding trails blind for the first time, I find myself in like pretty hairy situations a lot. And so any bike that's gonna keep me from going over the bars, which I've done a few times this year, as I'm sure you guys have seen, that's pretty good for me. For a dummy like myself. Now I have the Jurassic Theme Park song in my head, thanks. Good. There's worse songs to have stuck in your head, I think. There we go. All right, I'm actually gonna tuck this cable in over here. It's not flopping around everywhere. Let's just start cutting, because that's faster. A couple of zip ties. Ah. Whoa! And there it goes. That's crazy. There. So yeah, 140 mils of travel in the back. I wasn't expecting to get a 140 mil travel bike when I first started looking for next year's, but I remember seeing an article on this thing about a year ago, and I was just geeking out on it. Honestly, like I said before, I've never been this excited for a bike because it's so different and it has so much promise to it, just from what everybody's saying. And everyone's just kind of saying, like, you know, after you ride this bike, all other bikes seem like little toys. Okay. There we go. Sweet. Look at the bracing on that swing arm. That's some beef right there. Look at that. Yeah, so then that'll just go through right in there. That one just comes out there. Cool. So what do you guys think? Do you like the bike? Have you heard much about it? I should take a look at these comments. I'm kind of leaving you guys hanging there. Richard Pan says, this is a super long 29er from the UK, right? No, these guys are actually from Finland. Guy named Leo is the owner and head engineer for Pole, and I was talking back and forth with him about it. And he's just got some really good ideas. And guys are saying that, you know, like you would expect this bike to be a really good descender, given the ridiculous geometry, and I'll go over that in a second. There we go. And so you would expect it to be a really good descender for the geometry, but they also said, because of the numbers and where the geometry puts you in the bike, it's also an incredibly capable climber, which sounds a little hard to believe, but I'm gonna find out for myself. What else do we have on here? Yeah, I thought you'd think they'd be from Poland, given that their name is Pole. Whoops. But apparently pole means pedal. Over in the land of the Finns. There we go. But it also does open it up for some awkward conversations about how, what do you ride? Oh, I ride a pole. Actually, I ride the longest pole possible. All right, let's put the swing arm in there. See, this is the scariest part about this whole live stream thing, because boy, am I going to look like an idiot if I get this wrong. There we go. As soon as I get this hooked up, we'll talk more about the numbers. Oh, right. Everybody watch me struggle. Uh-oh. Oh, it's going. All the engineers from Pole are like, no! Oh. There we go. Nice. Almost. Well, maybe I'll work on that in a second. Its bearings are nice and tight, so which is a good thing. I don't mind that. So yeah, so that's what it looks like once the swing arm is all set up. Super clean looking bike. I really love it. It's obviously all aluminum. There's no carbon fiber here. If you look, it has a whole bunch of ports right there. One, that's clearly for a water bottle mount. But then there are 3 more. And I don't know if those space out for water bottle mounts as well, but I know there's also another water bottle mount on the bottom, which I don't like really wearing a pack very much. It gets really sweaty, and you know, when you hit really steep stuff, it smacks you on the back of the head. So I usually like to use a water bottle and like one of those enduro fanny pack type things to keep all the GoPro stuff in. But this is cool, so I can have a water bottle here, like on the top where it normally is. But then also I know you can buy little attachments just for little tool bags or whatever underneath. So you don't, I mean, you could do 2 water bottles, but to have like a little toolkit down there, hopefully like a pretty strong one in case it gets hit by a rock or something. But I think I'm definitely going to be using that. Oh, there you go. So the numbers on this thing, the reach on this bike, it's a size large, and it's made for people my height, and I'm not especially tall, I'm 6'1". It is 510 mils of reach, which is just like insanely long. So compare that to my giant Rain, which is, that's a long bike in its own right. It's just about 460 mils of reach in a size large, which is pretty standard, I would say, for a large size bike. But yeah, 510 mils. Now, they pair that up with an ultra slack head angle. The head angle on this stock with a 150 mil fork is about 40 or 64.5 degrees. But I'm gonna be running a 160 mil fork with a beefier front tire than the back tire. So that head angle should settle out to about 63 degrees, maybe a little over that. So like total downhill bike head angle we're talking here. And then just to make it even longer, this rear chainstay, the chainstay length is actually pretty much the same number that the reach number was on my Rain. I think it's like 456 or 55 millimeters for the chainstay, which is huge. Like, it's massive. And so the one thing that makes all of this work, if you took all those numbers and made it into a trail bike, I don't feel like it would climb very well. But what they did was they went and they put a super steep seat post on it. What did they put? I have the numbers here. Or a seat tube angle. So the effective seat tube angle is 77.5 degrees. So really steep seat tube. So basically when you're on the trail, one sec here. Basically like, so that'll kind of probably be more sitting like this. So when you're on the trail, like look how steep that seat tube angle is. Basically because it has a long rear end and a long front end, it puts you right in the middle of the bike. So the front and the back tires are really evenly weighted. And so that allows like even pressure front and back. You have lots of range of motion, which is also great for going down and for the steeps. So I'm just really excited about it. I'm just super pumped. So I've got some parts on the way for it. One sec, just gonna go back to here. And do you guys have any questions about the bike at all? I could take some questions. Let's see. All bikes should have at least an 80-degree seat tube angle, he says. Yeah, probably. Someone says, how much for the giant Rain? I'll buy it. That bike is officially up for sale now, actually. So it's a 2017 Giant Rain 2 with some very choice upgrades, as you guys saw in my bike check video. So it'll have the Black Spire cranks and Black Spire handlebar. I'm going to include the DMR Death grips, like my all-time favorite grip on there. It's got the Maxxis tires on it, DHF with EXO and Max grip, and it's set up tubeless in the front, and then an Aggressor in the rear. Both have tons of tread. So if anybody's interested in buying that bike, I'm going to put it up for a pretty decent price, so let me know. I'm in Canada, in Alberta, so I prefer a Canadian buyer, preferably an Alberta buyer. But we'll see what happens. I do need to sell it at some point soon because I got to pay for some more parts for this thing. Because parts are not cheap. I don't know if you noticed. Let's see. Alex Chamberlain, did you buy retail or faux free? So I did not pay for this frame. Now, Pole did not contact me. They weren't like, oh, we love your channel. We just really want to give you this frame. It was actually me like pestering them constantly for a long time. Like I was like, hey guys, check out my channel. I really want to try out this bike. And I bothered them enough that they were like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. Let's get them off our back and send them a frame. So it's just a frame. And everything else, I'm going to be taken care of along with a couple of other sponsors of mine, like as you've seen, like with Black Spire and a wheel manufacturer that's going to be sending me some really sick wheels pretty quick here for this bike, and a couple other things coming down the pipe. One of the things that I really want to grab is the bike yoke dropper. So actually Alex had that on his bike, which is really sweet. Like my kind of focus for the build on this bike is to put on parts that are a little bit out of the ordinary and from companies that are doing really amazing things but don't necessarily have the same massive reach as like the big two, basically SRAM and Shimano. So I really want to like stock this bike up with some rad parts And I'm going for reliability is a huge one, considering I'm going to be doing a ton of traveling with it. I don't want things to break. I want my brakes to work perfectly at the bottom, same as they do at the top, and not have to go through a crazy bleed sequence all the time. Yeah, so I'm really looking hard for the different parts to put on this. And that bike yoke dropper sounds perfect. And actually, Pole recommends that because it's a pretty short internal part of the dropper, so it fits in here really nicely, and you don't have to worry about it clanging on the shock down at the bottom or whatever. So yeah. Eric says, what tires will you use? I'm going to be using Maxxis tires. That's all I ever use. I am not sponsored by them. I wish I was like Alex over there. But I use Maxxis tires for all my bikes, whether it's a trail bike. I'm going to try and put some plus wheels and tires onto this thing and do a test between the two for you guys so you can see the difference. I also really want to do a test between a plus bike and a fat bike in different conditions. And so for all those bikes, I'm hoping to run all Maxxis tires, but they add up pretty quick, so we'll see how it goes. So front on this, guaranteed it'll be a DHF for sure, probably an EXO casing. And on the back, for regular trail riding, I got to stick with the Aggressor because it's perfect. And probably with double down on this. And then for the other stuff, I'd like to get a pair of shorties, like the tire Maxxis shorties, for like the really mucky kind of stuff. Like remember the baseline video? I feel like if I had a pair of shorty tires on this, that would have been perfect for that kind of thing. So it's time to stock up on the 29er tires. Let's see. Maxxis, big thumbs up. I'm just going to go back through the comments for a sec. Why are those boards, baseboards, so unusually tall? Yeah, well, it's a super old house. The house is 104 years old, so it's just creaky and weird, and I love it. Probably full of ghosts, but they leave me alone, so I leave them alone. What wheel set are you getting? You should get an i9 wheel set. Actually, I can say that I'm getting, the hubs are going to be i9 hubs, and I'm pumped for that. Having said that, they are so loud and so buzzy, and I know, is it B1 Biker, he's got them on there, and they're crazy loud, like on video, and I'm really conscious of how my bike sounds on video. So I'm going to actually do some experimenting with it. I'm going to take out three of the 6 pawls and see what that is like. I'm also going to try some different oils in there to try and get the sound down, but I really want that performance too, right? Even if you take out half the pawls in that rear hub, it still has more engagement points than most hubs out there, which is impressive. And if you leave them all in, it's just insane, like it's off the charts. So that'll be cool. And yeah, so the shock on there, it is a RockShox Monarch Plus RC3. This is the recommended shock for this bike. They basically designed the bike around that shock, so I definitely went with their recommendation on that. It'd be cool to try coil. It's not the curve isn't really designed for coil, but still be fun to try, right? So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna start putting in all the plugs and all that kind of stuff, but you guys don't need to watch that. That'll just get kind of boring. Any other questions before we head out? Carbon fiber seat post? I don't think they make a carbon fiber dropper, and if they did, I don't know if I'd want to try it. Carbon shards in the bum. Yeah, Trail Feature says, how about the Onyx hub? That is actually another option that I could have gone with. But so here's the thing about this bike. It's a 29er, super long. I want it to be beefy and burly so that I can take it on anything. This is going to be my do everything bike. No matter where I go in the world and what trails I hit, this will be the everything bike. So I want it tough enough to be able to withstand the hits, but I still got to watch the weight, because sometimes these bikes, like if you read the Pink Bike review on this, that guy got it up to 37 pounds pretty fast. And that's just too heavy to be like doing the trail riding stuff. Whereas other guys, you know, if they're watching the weight on it, they can get it to like 30 pounds or 29 pounds. So I'm hoping to keep it under 32. And so I'm really conscious of weight, especially because, you know, the swing arm's so long. Any weight in the wheel back here, I really feel like it'll kind of hurt suspension performance potentially. And so the Onyx hubs, as much as I would love a silent hub, it is like 200 and some grams more than the i9 hub. And so those are just things I have to think about. And it's not just that one component of the bike, it all adds up over the whole bike. So I'm really, really considering that when I'm thinking about parts. I'm going for like the toughest stuff that's also the lightest possible. So, but I hear Onyx is coming out with a super light version of the hub, and I'll be all over that when that comes out for sure. Okay, I think that's about it. Am I racing the Trans BC this year? I wasn't planning on it. I'm a pretty terrible racer. I'm more good at just falling down the mountain than doing races and trying to be good. I did a BC Enduro a couple of years ago. I think I came in second last, so yes. I don't know, we'll see. Racing is fun, and it'd make for a couple of good videos too. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about it for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm going to be back with some more videos next week. I'm going to start putting out the Phoenix videos, which are going to be awesome. And then after that, we're going to start building this bike. And I want your guys' suggestions for different parts. And again, I'm looking for kind of not necessarily the most popular products out there, but products that have kind of slipped under the radar, but that also have a really amazing reputation for like reliability and performance and stuff like that. Because I want to support those guys, and I want to get all those names out there as much as I can. So that's about it for now. So thanks again, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers. And now the struggle begins to try and figure out how to actually turn this off. There we go. See you guys.